Bands by the River, a podcast about happiness, music, and comedy.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to Bands by the River. I'm Will.
I'm Miranda.
Today we are here with Tori Pool, a great comedian in San Antonio, Texas. Today we are at Tandem on 310 Riverside Drive, which is a great place to get coffee, drinks, or go to comedy nights. Tori, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about who you are and what projects you're working on now.
Who am I? I'm a stand-up based out of San Antonio. I've been doing stand-up for 6 years. I'm a former teacher. Thank you so much. A coffee drinker. What else? My day job, I'm the events manager for Texas Public Radio, and I'm also the live event and podcast producer for a program called Worth Repeating. What do I got coming up that I'm excited about? I produce a show called Creekside Sessions, which is bringing comedy into the fold. Normally it's about music. Now we're doing comedy. We'll have the second one coming up in a couple weeks, and then we'll just keep doing those. I'm a producer for Don't Tell in San Antonio, which is pop-up comedy out of LA, but I haven't done any of those in a minute. I'll have to get back in the fall. Those are a little harder to produce. And I am the sort of like organizer for Blind Tiger Comedy Club, which is an underground comedy club here in town that is a co-op based partnership thing. Yeah. So I'm all over the place. I don't sleep.
You sound like you're a very busy person.
Yes.
I'm really fortunate that I have a good reputation in town and that I am a regular at the Improv Club, which is the main club in town. So I've worked really hard in a short amount of time. So I have that reputation, which I'm like, heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, who did it? Me, the brown girl. Pretty proud.
Good job.
Thank you. I do other stuff. I don't know. Try to hike. I do hot yoga.
Oh, hot yoga?
Painfully hot yoga. Love it.
Yeah, I don't like the
I just like a challenge. I'm like, oh, you white people think you can do this? So, yeah. I like spaces that aren't meant for me.
Okay. Nice.
That's probably why I like comedy.
Yeah. Can you describe how making comedy has contributed to your overall happiness or positivity?
You know what I like about stand-up is that you can either hide or you can be incredibly honest. Some people, spend a lot of time hiding, and I like the honesty part, It was something I always wanted to do when I was, like, little. I would stay up late and watch, like, HBO specials I wasn't supposed to, like, with my brother. And then I would repeat things that I heard from, like, Eddie Murphy Raw or, like, Howie Mandel or Lily Tomlin or Red Fox. And then my mom would be like, no more comedy records, and, no more HBO. And it was like, and my brother and I, like, my mom would get home late from, like, she was a single mom, sometimes she'd go out and let her hair down or whatever. And so she'd bring her friends back, and, like, I knew it was, like, my time to shine. I would just be like, I'm going to go show them what joke I learned, and I'd, like, perform and do stupid, like, imitations and stuff, imitations. So, like, I always was interested in comedy, but I didn't really see me on the stage, so I didn't think that was, like, possible. And so, although I was like the class clown and the person that never knew how to shut up through school, I just kind of thought, oh no, I'll be a poet, I'll just be like traveling like Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace, I love you. And like, no, it wasn't until I found comedy later in life that I realized I was just always really afraid of what I would say. And there's just something so cathartic about writing and performing and having people connect with a silly thought or something profound that you've learned about yourself. And so for me, it's been like transformative in a way that I can't seem to come back from because I don't want to. Like I'm in a space where I feel like I fit, and it's just like it does really help. I can be like, I'm kind of like a downer in the sense that I can be hard on myself because I think I'm Latina. Well, I know I'm Latina, but I think that's why it is, because our parents are very hard on us. You know, you're taught to be small, not purposefully, but just because you don't want to, like, don't get in trouble, don't, you know, stand out too much kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pick the safe route, you know, my mom was like, be a teacher, and, you know, that's why I did that. Or she wanted me to be a nurse, but I was like, I'm not going to do this. You can't pay me to clean up shit. And so, like, I went other ways, but it's funny, like, writing was always at the center of everything I wanted to do. So it was cool to find this at a time when my life really needed it. Like, I was just, you know, in a marriage where I wasn't being completely honest, you know, in a job where I couldn't really talk about the horrible things that were happening. I was teaching at the time when I started doing comedy. And I was just really dissatisfied with a lot of things, and I had a lot of things to say, and it just brought me, like, so much joy to, like, get them out.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, we're doing this now. Let's
like
just pillage forward. But yeah, I don't know if that answered you. I feel like that was a big thing.
Yeah, no, that's good. You know, when I hear a joke, it makes me smile and laugh. And if I'm in a bad mood, it's even more impactful on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Do you ever write jokes to help people to feel better about something? Or do you ever write jokes with the intent of making somebody happy specifically?
I definitely I think about me first. I write a lot from personal experience, like my shitty dating record, or just like, you know, being a mom and not really knowing what I'm doing, or like family relationships. And I feel like that does help people realize that they're not alone, and probably these awkward dynamics, or like, or family dynamics. And there never is a show where people are like, I had no idea what you were talking about. In fact, it's people that are like, oh my God, I too am always in the friend zone, or dude, I can't believe that guy said that to you on that date. Like, that's crazy. You know, I had this happen to me. So I do feel like it's so much connection that I wasn't expecting, because I do write for me. Like, I'm basically, I try not to shit on myself, but it's like I do feel awkward in this world, and I'm sort of like tumbling through it, identifying the awkwardness, because I think it's funny. And then when people laugh at it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, we're on the same page. So that's nice. But the intention is always to make light of something that I'm struggling with, you know, like self-esteem, or, you know, family dynamics, or things like that, to make me feel better. So when it makes someone else laugh, I'm like, oh, okay, we got similar tracks going on.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear it from your perspective, because when I'm hearing jokes and I hear somebody tell a joke that I can relate to, I feel almost the same way. Like, oh, somebody else thinks that? Like, I can relate to that. And then it becomes, you know, something more than a joke. Like, I feel included in something now. It's not just something I heard. It's like something I've experienced.
Exactly.
You know? And I think that, you know, like you said about being honest instead of hiding, I think that that's the way to go, because a lot of people are looking for that kind of connection, whether it's, you know, in a joke or your friend or whatever, you know?
Oh, for sure. And it definitely, it's the conversations that happen after a show that are always so fascinating to me. You know, there will always be like people in the crowd that, like, while I'm on stage, it always happens, there's like a guy that I'll talk about, like, dating, and then he'll be like, I'm right here, or like whatever. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, and like I call him on it, and then they're the first dude to run away after a show. They're just like, oh my God, I talked to the girl and I'm gonna run away from her. She's right there, she's real. And so that cracks me up. You know, there's always like a drunk, you know, pale-faced person that is like trying to like help or something, and then you think that they're like mad at you the whole time, and like, because you're like, hey, shut the fuck up, you know, and you like address their constant talking. Like last night, it happened for the millionth time. There was a woman bless your soul, she kept talking, and I was like, ma'am, I used to be a teacher. I'll just stand by you. Just shut the fuck up, you know? And after the show, she came up to me. She's like, oh, my God, I love you so much. I love when you told me to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, wow. Oh, my God. Like, what is happening right now? So, yeah, no, it's weird. And then there's the person that, like, I talk about losing my mother, you know, like, that was a big thing for me. And to make jokes about it, I remember I tried, like, right after I lost her to make light of the incredible grief that I was experiencing, and I was too deep in it at the moment. So there is, like, space, too. Like, she'll be gone 4 years this year, and I'm only now able to, like, really figure out what I was trying to say back then. Okay. So there are... Comedy is like a wave, dude. It's like you're doing things like as small as like a dick joke, and as big as, you know, death and the meaning of life or whatever. So it's such a weird gig. I was telling a friend of mine, like, I picked the weirdest side gig ever. Like, I could have just been like a Hot Topic employee or something, would have thrived, you know, dated a super young person or whatever just to keep me alive. And instead I'm like, no, I'm going to go tell 400 strangers why I'm not dating right now. Yeah.
That seems like a good choice.
Yeah.
You don't have any therapy bills, right?
Yeah. I mean, what is Ken S therapy? I should probably take it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we were, you know, talking about how you've been into comedy since you were a kid, but you didn't become a comedian until later. So when did you know inside that you were a comedian? Like, when did it click in your brain, like, hey, I'm a comedian?
You know, you always hear about, like, comedians talk about, like, the moment when they realized, and that a lot of the times that they're like, dude, I was just the one, like, the ham, like, always looking for the attention, always trying to get the big laugh. I mean, I feel like all those things are true. Like, in school, when I did go, I'm a 2-time dropout, 3 if you count college and beyond, but, like, I always was seeking a laugh when I was little. I can remember the first time I got a laugh in a lunch line, and it's a line I've used in my 6th year of comedy still, and it still works. And, you know, and it's that to me is like, what? Like, I wrote one line back then. It worked in the lunch line. And it was something stupid. Like, it was like the dad breakfast day or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they were like, where's your dad or whatever? Uh-huh. And I'm like, well, he's super busy. Like, he's got a lot of families, you know? And, like, I forgot. I was like, it was like a weird, like, I'm 4 and I'm like, one thing about my dad, he's got a lot of families. And it's something I still joke about now, and it works. And so, like, I don't know. I felt a call to it. I avoided it. I was always worried. You know what? I don't think I've ever really said this, but I really did worry about getting on stage and people, like, not connecting and then attacking me, like, my appearance. Like, I that self-esteem came into play very much so. Like, okay. I don't think that I'm, you know, mainstream pretty. I think I have, like, pretty features or whatever, but I think I was like 65 pounds heavier, and I thought, no, they're just gonna be like, fuck you, you fat bitch, or like something like that. I don't know why my brain went to that. Like, if I was on stage, I was gonna be ridiculed, and so that was like a big fear. And then I just had to, like, overcome it. Like, I talked myself into it for like a month. I was like, I'm gonna do this, right? And then
was there something that, like, spurred it? Like,
I just felt like I had something to say. I wrote out different sets, and then I just really wanted it, and then I had to, like, overcome this weird idea that I was going to be attacked, which I don't know where that came from. Like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, why did I think that?
Will Smith?
I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. This was way before that, so I don't know. I think it's because men and women can be cruel, I guess.
Yeah,
and
sure.
like,
oh yeah.
And I definitely, you know, it's kind of like why I don't really like the roast phenomenon, because it's the low-hanging fruit, right? Like, you can attack someone's appearance right away. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean to say that I haven't been on roast and been like, just getting over the stupid thing. I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like I was bullied when I was a little kid or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Well,
I feel
I think
like
it's
the
like-
same
go
way though. Like this podcast is audio because I don't want to be on the other side of the
Yeah.
screen. So
And it sucks
Yeah.
because like it shouldn't matter, but it's just a weird time. Like I don't understand beauty standards really, and I think that's me like
Yeah.
diving through being single later in life. Like I'm 41 and like or almost 41. Damn, I'm already accepting it. And I'm just excited and like everything seems possible, but at the same time I'm like, dude, is everybody experiencing the same life as me right now? This shit is whack. It's like
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
are weird.
Yeah.
And the pandemic only amplified the weirdness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You
like,
never came back. You
Yeah.
never came back to normal.
no. When business hours return to like 24 hours, we will be recovered.
Yeah.
Until
I can't
then,
go to HEB at 1 a.m.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
happening right now?
I know, it's disgusting. HEB, like I thought you were right there for us. They're like, actually, we're sleeping.
Yeah. They're stalking. They're definitely stalking. Well, I'm glad you're able to overcome that because you're really funny on stage.
Thank
So
you.
I'm
you're
I
glad
really
you're
like
able to
it.
do that.
I really
Yeah.
like it. I just don't. I don't know. Like last night, I was just hosting the midnight, and I just had so much fun. And it's like comedy's fun, dude, and it brings
Yeah.
you to the weirdest people you'll ever meet, and it's lovely. It's lovely. So yeah.
So do you do stand up because it makes you happy or because it makes other people like because it's making the crowd happy when you make them laugh?
I think that it's really cool. I used to not think it was cool, but like I live in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. Like I'm around here. I do things, and I like it when it's cool when I'm somewhere and I like make a joke or I laugh really loud and someone hears my annoying voice or my annoying laugh and they're like, "Are you that comedian?" or they like throw a punchline back at me. Like I opened for dwarf wrestling at the Aztec maybe 5 years ago.
Wow, that's cool.
And like 3 years ago, I was at this like weird Magic Mike show. I won't explain why. And it was like an off-brand Magic Mike. It wasn't even real. And they were like strippers. Anyway, and like
Hill Country Mike.
yeah. And I was just like, what is happening? And I was like laughing and making fun of someone, and somebody walked up to me and they were like, "There's a line!" Like they like yelled a line from a joke that I haven't done in years. I guess 5 years ago, and they're like, "There's a line," and I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah, there's a line." Oh. I'm like, "Oh, you're so funny," and I'm like, "That's cool." So like, I feel like I'm making people have a certain listening ear for my ridiculous voice, but I definitely do it for me. I like the way I feel. I like that there's not a lot of people that look like me. I like that my style is weird. Like sometimes I can be very loose and sometimes I can be very deadpan and I just want to tell you what I wrote and I think that's enough. Or sometimes I'm like, actually, I'll work for you. Like, love me. And I'll really like lean into stuff. So like every time I get on stage, it's just a different experience and a different reason why I fall in love with it. So
That's awesome.
so I never really think about like, am I doing good? Because I feel like I do such a weird job, Like it's not, like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I don't have like a legitimate side business. It's just like, hey, let me tell you this new joke I wrote about like blowing a dude or whatever, It's like, it's not profound, I guess, Like I'm not like gonna be known as the girl who opened any doors or whatever, but like, yeah, I sure close them on people.
Well, I think you're hilarious,
Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
and I really
Honestly, compliments like that and like the little recognition, they keep me alive. They make me think I'm not just wasting my time. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, what you do is difficult. You get up on stage, and there's a
Yeah.
spotlight on you, and everybody is looking at you, and of
Yeah.
course you feel judged. How can you not feel judged when anybody's in that situation, right?
True, yeah, literal spotlight.
It's
Yeah.
difficult. It's
Good
actually
call.
difficult.
And it's so funny because I hear that a lot. Like, oh my God, what you do, like musicians especially. I have some friends that are musicians, and they've talked about how how they feel like it's just way different because they can they're together, and I'm relying on people to be attentive and to check in and to buy in really, and it doesn't always go that way, especially if the person before me ate a bag of dicks before I got there, and then I'm just spending the whole time digging myself out.
Yeah.
And then by the end, if I don't get a big laugh, let me tell you, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna end it all. I keep trying to make it a thing. If I'm gonna off myself, it's gonna be a hot dog, not a hamburger.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I get it. There you go. I love it. I'm trying to make it a thing. Everybody, hot dog, long ways, and then hamburger.
Oh,
Yeah, okay,
no.
sorry.
It's for folding paper. Not
Yeah, no, yeah. I used to be a teacher.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that's right.
I don't know, but yeah.
Have you ever been moved by music to be happy or to be in a different mood?
Oh my God, yes. I love music, but I'm also stuck in a weird, two different opposing places with music right now. I'm a very a person that lives in nostalgia a lot, or in that nostalgic space. So a friend of mine who I adore, I made a super playlist of sad songs from the 90s or whatever.
Okay.
And I was just so proud of it, but if you listen to it from start to finish, you are under, you know what I mean?
Depression.
Yeah, you're just
Dang.
I should call him, it's just it'll sink you, but
Yeah.
I kind of like that music can do that.
Yeah, I like to lean into the sadness sometimes.
Yeah, no, and I can do that. It's so funny because the first part of the summer I was listening to this sad song playlist on repeat, and I'm like, am I sad or is my music sad? And then I'm like, it's just sad songs, And then I had to ask another good friend of mine who I love and adore, hey, can you just make me a playlist that's poppy but sad, but it's poppy, and I don't care what it is? And he's like, I got you. And he just put this other thing together, and it did have those elements, but I had no connection to it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't associate a person or a feeling or anything to it. So now it's all good vibes, even though it's kind of poppy sad, synthy pop. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely feel I'm stuck in those two realms right now. I love to look back. I love to, just drown in Smoking Popes, Jets to Brazil, the Get Up Kids and all that other stuff. And then now I'm like, ooh, Hush Moss. And, just diving into, Faye Webster and all this other stuff that's kind of cool. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I like to ride waves in music. Music's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love live music more so too.
Yeah, I like feeling the pulse of the vibration going through you from the speakers.
All right, and especially if it's an instrumental band like Earth or something like that, or Red Sparrows, going to see them live and how they're not touching you with vocals, right? But they're rocking your body, you can feel everything in your chest, and it's wild.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we're talking about music. So I had a question about music for you. What is the happiest music genre for you? What makes you the happiest? You can put this music on and it's going to change your mood. You're going to be happy.
It's so different. It's so weird. I think it's really dependent on the day. On a Sunday, Sundays are my days to I typically don't have a show on a Sunday unless it's at the club, so it's my stay in bed until 11:30 day, and I'm just laying there yes, it's hot in this room, but I don't want to get up kind of thing. And when I go into the kitchen and I start cooking, I'll ask for like Smoking Pope's radio because it can be really poppy sad, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll get fired up.
Okay.
But then there are also mornings where I just want to hear Patsy Cline radio and
Okay.
like bake, and and then there are other times when I'm like feeling spicy and I'm cooking like something that's very involved, and I want like Ila de Cara's radio. So it's like it's always like this like poppy kind of feel, unless I'm like nostalgic old days kind of thing where I'm like, I need Patsy or Johnny Cash. But
Okay.
it's like cooking and music for me is like what makes me happiest. So I can literally listen to anything.
I think you kind of touched on this earlier, but can you remember a time when making or performing comedy was rewarding for you, either emotionally or spiritually?
I've done some pretty big shows, you know, with Tom Green, Paul Reiser, you know, people that I grew up watching like on TV and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's awesome.
And like just so many, like Mark Curry. Do you remember hanging with Mr. Cooper?
Yeah. Who doesn't remember that?
Yeah, I was just like, dude, you're Mr. Cooper. And like meeting these like famous, cool people, working with like Chris Estrada recently. That was like amazing. I'm a big fan of this fool. And
Yeah, that's a really good show.
Yeah, it is.
but I think a weekend that I'll never forget, because it was my first weekend at the club, was with Mo Amer. And you might know him from, oh God, I can't think of the superhero movie. He's Black Adam. He was in Black Adam.
Okay.
And he's also the show Mo. Anyway, I had just lost my mom, and I had never gotten booked at the club. There was some new management situations. I had this really like weird history with the club before it had new management, where they were just an old way of thinking that, you know, women didn't belong in stand-up and all this stuff, and really like just inappropriate, and it was a bad time. And so I stopped going to the club, and then they had new management come in, and I was like, nice, you know. Maybe there's a future for me there, because I'd put in so much time, and like I thought, you know, whatever, tides are going to change, right? And then my mom died. Like, things went bad, and it was like she was gone, and it was so weird. But it was like maybe a week after she had gone, and I got an email from the club, and they were like, hey, do you want to open for Mo Amer? Do you want the weekend? He would host. And it was like, absolutely. You know, I said yes right away, because I was so enveloped in grief, you know, that was like, oh my God, my first weekend, you know. And it wasn't like the shows were huge. Like, San Antonio did not give this man the love they should have. But I learned so much. He's Dave Chappelle's regular opener. He just was sharing stories about Chappelle. He like was so nice. He's like, I only have one note for you. He's like, how many times have you hosted? And I'm like, this is my first weekend. And he was like, well, shit, I feel bad about this note I'm about to give you. And I was like, no, please, like, I'm learning, like, tell me. And he was like, don't leave the stage before I get to the mic. He said, wait for me.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, for sure. 100%. And I like, that's still something that I stay, like, I'm like, give it up for blah. And then I like stay and I wait and I shake their hand and then I leave. Like,
okay, yeah.
And that's because of him. And that weekend I felt like, it was so funny because, you know, we talked about our parents and stuff, and I didn't crush all weekend, and it wasn't like packed or whatever, except for like one show, but I did really well. And it was like meeting him and talking to them about comedy, and like our parents like crying about my mom, and him like getting it, and he's like, I don't know what I would do, and how are you here? And it was just, it was the best. I look back on it like, ooh, it's such a weird thing to say, right? It was the best. I lost my mom, and but it was just it's kind of something that marked a change in me as far as like legitimizing all the hard work that I had put in, and from that point on, I started to get booked more at the club. Obviously, it was new management. I became a regular. I've gone to the Addison Improv. I've gone to the Houston Improv. Like, improv has been so good to me, and it all started with that Mo Amer show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are giving me this like, are you okay?
No, it's just, the stories that come out of comedy and music can just be amazing sometimes. It just provides so much to people's lives. I'm just, it's an interesting experience.
Okay, good. I was like, was that bad?
That's good.
I like that comedy helps us deal, like how it helps me deal with tragedy. If I'm like super sad, I can just, put on Tommy Boy and, Nacho Libre and start laughing. And
Isn't that funny that movies do that for us too, though? I feel like film, like I have my go-to sad and feel-good movies or series, like.
What's a feel-good movie for you? For me, Home Alone. Every time I watch Home Alone,
that's gonna be one of my questions.
It's gonna sound weird. Monster Squad, like all the way, like Monster Squad. You guys seen it?
Okay.
1986.
Wow.
I love that movie. It's little
Classic.
kids take on monsters and they're like rad. I love that movie. Wolfman's Got Nards. Then I have like weird rom-coms. I'm obsessed with like rom-coms, but I always feel good after like a Monster Squad night or like a Gremlins or like Die Hard or like now I'm just naming Christmas movies. Yeah. Or a Shawshank Redemption when he gets out, like I hope. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were a kid, who were like the top 3 comedians that you could go to listen to when your mom would let you have the records that you knew were just gonna make you laugh?
Dude, Eddie Murphy could say whatever he wanted, so that was kind of cool. Like I think about that a lot. I think certain people get away with stuff, so like that was cool. Robin Williams was like a sweaty dream to watch. Like it's just like sweat and hair, it just looked like a body that looked like he had just had sex all the time. But I thought he was so funny, so I loved watching him. I liked Lily Tomlin because she was so lanky, and I always wanted to be like a lanky girl. Like obviously I've never been a lanky girl or whatever, but she was so funny. Dude, Ellen DeGeneres' first, I think it was her first special with the moon, and she's doing, I forget what the term is for this joke, but it's just like a journey joke where she's just talking about like walking, and she just keeps singing I Am Stuck on Band-Aid Brand. She's like, I am stuck on Band-Aid Brand because germs don't stick on me. And it was just so funny, like her just being herself, that I was like, oh my God, like that, I want that. That's so cool. But definitely them. I'd get in trouble when I listen to Red Fox. He cursed so much. Richard Pryor, that was another one that was like, I would get so much trouble for listening to him because then I'd be like, I cursed so much when I was little. Did you guys curse a lot when you were little? I've been thinking about that. Was I?
I said ass a lot. I don't know.
Dude,
I feel
was
like
my favorite
just
word.
In my family, like it's like pepper and salt. It just sprinkles sentences. It just kind of runs in my family, I think.
I went to dinner with not a family of mine, but a family that invited me to dinner, who I love, and I hope they adopt me. But they were like, I noticed that I cursed so much, and they barely cursed, and I thought, God, I need to stop cursing. And every other thing was like fucking this, fucking that, dick that, and I'm just like, oh my God. Embarrassing. But I loved comedy. One of the coolest things that I thought we did is we watched SNL together, like as a family. So like during the 80s and 90s, like as I was growing up, every Saturday night we would have like snacks and we would watch SNL together, and it was so cool. It was like the night that we stayed up late together, so I think about that a lot. Maybe that was it too, although I don't do sketch comedy. I haven't really ever done that, so
yet
Yeah,
You've never been in?
I just add that to the resume.
You said you like improv. You do improv in town?
I do the improv clubs. I don't do
Okay,
improv.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
improv is
Gotcha.
a business name. But yeah,
Oh, okay,
everybody always gets
okay.
excited. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm good at improv. Like, I feel so. I've opened for improv shows, but I've never done improv really. No,
Okay.
Yeah, for a long
I like to write and like.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then strip the fat. I feel
Okay.
like I'm probably not as funny on the fly unless it's like trying to keep a show going. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
When you're under the pressure, then the wit comes quick.
No, then I think improv would be good for me, but I think it's like I'm able to, like a comedian will go on, like if I'm hosting, I can pick up on something that didn't work for them and make a laugh, or
okay.
I can make a laugh about the audience really quickly. Like I'm good at that because it's
Okay.
like get a laugh, move on. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking in my head. So
Okay.
I'm sure I would be good at improv if I just trained myself, but I'm like, I'm lazy. I don't want to. But yeah, when I talk about improv, I mean the clubs.
club, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
the 3 in Texas.
Okay. Can you name a couple other San Antonio comedians who always make you laugh when you see them do a set?
Dude, Raul Sanchez is so funny. He's my favorite comedian in San Antonio. He's effortlessly funny, and he will tell you that he's not, that it requires a lot of effort, but his joke organization, his delivery, it's impressive, and I'm always just like, it's disgusting. Like, I want to be that funny.
Yeah.
But he's a favorite. In
look him
town, who else is super funny that I'm always just dying that I want to see? Probably Josh Cabaza. He is so funny too, and he's a super hard worker. And like sometimes I don't even want to laugh at him because he's being silly, but then I end up laughing at them. Like, it's so funny. Like, sometimes you don't want to give a comic a laugh because they say, like, a dumb thing. And then you're like, all right, dude, that was pretty funny. Yeah, those are two my favorites. It's funny that it's 2 men. Ew.
Are there a lot of other Latina comedians in San Antonio, or are you one of just like a few?
I feel like things are changing. I work a lot, so I don't get out to mics like I used to. And I feel like 6 years in, that's pretty good. I get worried when a comic is like a year in and they're like, yeah, I just do this one mic. Like, your first year, you should be doing every mic. You should be driving to mics. It's all about stage, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know a lot of the females in town. Irma Ruiz, she's funny. She's been doing it, I think, a little bit longer than me. And then, honestly, people just, they start here and then they move to Austin right away to kind of like do things. But as far as other women in town, there's a chick, Michelle Cantu, that she's just started headlining shows. I haven't seen a bunch of her comedy, but it's good to see another Latina. I'm trying to think of names. It's so funny. I think that they're probably, obviously there's less than 10, but I'm not familiar with all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're not just Latina, just women, you
Just
know.
women in general. Okay.
There's not a lot of women. That's sort of why I kept doing stand-up. Like, the first night I went, I was the only woman. Like, out of 50.
Oh, damn.
Out of 50 comedians, I was like,
Wow.
this is weird.
Yeah.
And so I said it earlier, I just like spaces that aren't meant for me. And I was like, oh, there's no women? I'm going to be the woman, you know? And so it just kept like going because of that. But yeah, San Antonio, I think, has a small comedy pool. And I do see every scene is just different. There are people that will create their own content because they feel like their own shows because they feel like they're being excluded, which is like silly. It's really just about work. And there are like the underground scene, which wants you to work, but people hate work. Like the Tiger, people always think it's like a Blind Tiger, which is in the basement of the Magic Time Machine. People always think it's like a exclusive cool kids club, but it really just is about people working together to put on quality shows and writing. And people are like, ooh, I don't like work. And I'm like, welcome to 2023. Like, what are you talking about? And then there's like the mainstream thing, which is like the main club. So it's like different factions of things, which I think is like, in comedy, what I've learned is you need community. So you should find it, whether that's like a group of friends that are honest to you, because you don't need people gassing you up all the time. Like, honestly, you don't. It's not helpful to anyone. Oh my God, you guys just made me remember something because your faces, you're like, oh my God, I just, I can be kind of like direct and like, and I think people are weirded out because I'm a girl and I'm direct, like we're not supposed to exist or something. But I remember this one time a comedian got off stage and they were just like doing crowd work, and like I said something like, are you gonna tell jokes next time? And he like laughed, and I thought we were like in the same community, so it was like a cool, like I thought it was just like two guys talking. But then, like, the next day, it turned into World War III with his girlfriend, like, his then girlfriend just, like, texting me and telling me I can't talk to people like that and, like, coming for me. And I was like, are you serious?
I thought we were comedians. Like,
are you kidding me right now? All I said was one sentence, and it's, like, World War III. This is wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like that encompasses how people can take a lot of things to, like, heart.
Yeah.
When we're all in this weird comedy thing where you would think that it's the one place you could be like honest with your peers. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
If I eat shit, I want you to tell me, you know? Somebody
joke
commented
about how bad it was.
some stranger commented on a post on my comedian Facebook page. I saw you open, I forget for who. I hope the second show gave you more than the first show. And I thought, oh my God, woman, what do you mean? Did I suck? And then I was trying to like think about the show, and I record everything. And like, I had to go, I'm a crazy person. I went back and listened, and I was like, that was a damn good show. What is she talking about? But sometimes I notice that I do say like, oh, you guys don't like me or whatever. And then people like remember that, and they're like, we loved you. And I'm like, oh no, I was just talking, you know, I'm just stupid. Like if there's a pregnant pause, I'm like, you guys still there? And, you know, just everybody leave? Did everybody go to the bathroom? Aww.
I have one final question. I wanted to ask you for advice. I believe that you are a hilarious, intelligent, inspiring Latina. I like your fire and how you're just like, I'm gonna be where I'm not supposed to be. What advice can you give young Latina women here, you know, how to stay happy in this world that we're living in right now?
Wow. I would say a couple things. Address the awkward. I love addressing an awkward situation. And I feel like growing up, we Latinas in general, we like internalize a lot of trauma and like past trauma, and we miss opportunities to make light of very serious situations. And I feel like I've been in training to be a comedian my whole life, growing up with like a family that how they showed affection was just to like lay into you. Like, I don't know.
Is it just like Mexican families?
I think I don't know. I want to do a survey. Like at the next show, I'm going to be like, who here has situational trauma from, you know, family relationships? I don't know. To me, it does feel like a Latina thing. It feels like when I was little, you know, especially how I dressed or how I looked, if I fluctuated in weight, if I changed my hair, there was always something that my grandmother or my mother or my tias or my sister had to say, and it was just like, oh my God.
Somebody
you know?
always had to comment. Like,
yeah, and it's like,
wearing?
can we just have dinner? You know, like, why are we talking about my shoes? You know, and
why are you guys so obsessed with me?
yeah, I know. And I feel like, so there's that weird spot. Like, so I would say, like, if you're in those situations, try to address the awkward. Like, put a name to what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, hey,
okay.
I'm a person kind of thing. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to do that. And even in situations where it's not with, like, family, I love to address an awkward moment. And oftentimes I feel like people just don't know what they're doing until you shine a light on it, you know?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to shine a light. And also don't be afraid to be that light. I think we are, as women, and not just Latinas, we're so hard on ourselves. We don't give ourselves enough credit. I'm talking to myself when I say this. Like, I am my worst enemy. You know, my mom used to say this thing, and I fucking hated it at the time. But we make our own hell. She'd say, like, you make your own hell, Tori. You're doing this to yourself. I'd be like, no, I'm not. You know, just like, what are you talking about? And it's like me being in love with a guy that has a girlfriend, which is like the same to this day. And yeah, so I feel like try not to make your own hell. Try to identify the awkwardness, and also and this is like the most crucial thing, is that the only thing that stops people from getting to where they want to be in life is a lack of effort. And I think that you can fail 1,000 times, and all that means is that you're trying. And
Yeah.
I am so thankful for every time I failed and every time I've tried, because I would not be, and I'm not really anywhere other than I have some good accomplishments under my belt, but I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't try, if I
Yeah.
didn't continuously put myself out there. And that's like a mark of success for me. Like, I've gotten to do a lot of cool things, you know. I'm technically a published author now.
Nice.
I've been rejected from countless film festivals, so I'm coming for you now. And I'm so happy to try, and I'm so happy for this gift of life. And yeah, I just want to keep trying every day. I want to keep meeting creative people. I want to keep marking success in little tiny increments and hoping for big leaps. And yeah, life is just too short. And yeah, just give it your all. And I saw this really cool thing from Seth Rogen the other day, where he was like, if you don't try, like, you've already lost.
Yeah.
And he like talks about Ian McKellen, and he's like, I never heard of him. And then suddenly, like, this guy is like Gandalf. You know? And it's like, you could never be heard, and then you could be
true.
Gandalf. So like,
Yeah.
just keep doing your thing, you know, and find community.
I like that. Thank you, Tori.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
We have a few more questions.
Yeah, of course.
Where and when can people see you perform next?
You can, depending on when this comes out, you can follow me on Instagram, Tori Bori Allegory. I'm sorry, I'm immature. Or you can check me out on my website, toripool.com. No E's, I don't like them. And that's where I post my shows. Coming up tonight, which you guys won't be there, so I'm already mad at you. I have a show tonight at Blind Tiger Comedy Club. Next week, I'll be at the Midnight at the Tiger. At the end of the month, I'm doing Creekside Sessions with an all-woman lineup, comedy and conversation.
Oh, nice.
That is such, if you, like, I don't know if this will be out, but that is such a good opportunity for people who are interested in not only comedy, but like the behind-the-scenes stuff. We'll have about an hour moderated conversation with Budol Pinche, Stephanie Guerra, and then just talk about the state of women in comedy. So I'm really excited about that one. You know, we get to like share all the weird sexual harassment stories.
What day is that?
That's Tuesday, August 29th
Okay, cool.
at Texas Public Radio. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that. And then next month I'm in Laredo, I'm in Dallas, I'm all over. So you can see me just by stalking me on the internet. And I'm a big stories gal. Sorry. I love to post a story than just the stupidest stories. Usually my dogs. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll put some links in the show notes.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Dude, thank you. Thanks for the coffee. It's rad.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tori.
Bye.
Bands by the River, a podcast about happiness, music, and comedy.